afternoon. I'm coming at you today from Marla's office, and I have the dogs with me because they won't leave me alone. And I'm in Marla's office because she's out of town right now. She's got business going out of town, and it makes me feel real important to be sitting in the nice, comfy, executive chair and the big desk and the beautiful monitors. Look at all the wood behind me. Beautiful. So I just want to go over real quick today kind of some of the preparation that we do and that I feel you should do or everybody should do or maybe nobody should do because I'm getting everything wrong. Who knows? That we do for kind of each trip. You guys can't see the dog, but he's a nutcase. So just kind of a few of the things that we always kind of do, and you kind of want to adapt some things depending on where you're going. This Thursday, so today's Monday. This Thursday, we are going to Coppinger's Cove. And unfortunately, when I say we, I can't take Marla with me because she's still kind of recovering. Not really, but still kind of recovering from surgery. We just don't want to push things. Take her out and, camping, and it's cold and bouncing, and it's better that she skips this one. But it looks like Jay's going to be coming with me as well as Lewis. So I'm super excited about going out there. When we go on these trips, it's always good, and something we always do, to take a look at where you're going. Check the weather, check the conditions, where are we going to be. Right now in North Carolina, there is a fire ban. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to such things as this so that you're not out there, not just, no, don't go out and set forest fires, right? But if you don't realize that there's a fire ban, you go up there and you set yourself a campfire and you're very responsible about it and you keep everything contained, but you're still breaking the law. So make sure you check conditions and things like that. Also checking with the weather. Obviously, is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Whatever, but also is it going to rain? And if it's going to rain, does that impact how you can cook? Does that impact how you can heat yourself? This week, it's supposed to be, I think it's high in the upper 50s to mid 60s is what it's supposed to be. And then the low is going to be, anywhere between 50, and one night it's supposed to be 30 and another night. So it's kind of all over the place. If it's raining, I'm going to have to kind of modify how I cook. Typically, when I go out on the trail, I like to cook, burgers and dogs. Super simple. I set up a fire, put the grill thing, with this little triangular, whatever, tripod, and it's a dump the thing. You guys have seen it before. So I set that up over the fire, and I can cook my dogs, burgers, whatever I want. But if it's raining, even though now we do have an awning that I could set up, and maybe I can set the fire underneath the awning, but I don't know if I want to set the fire underneath. The awning's only yay tall. Dogs. So this trip, I want to make sure that I take with a secondary cooking option. We do have a camp stove and propane and whatever, and I've got it's like a cast iron, it's round, right? But it's a cast iron skillet, but it's like they cut the sides off the skillet, it's just flat. So I'll take that with, and I can still do burgers on that, I can still do dogs on that. So we've got pots and pans. I usually don't like to use them because if you use a pot or pan, you have to wash it, and I'm not a big fan of washing ththings. So I like to just use the grill and then whatever, just kind of scrape it off with some tinfoil when I'm done. When you're preparing all of your things, and you can see here, these are all my buskets that I've got all my camping equipment in. For every trip, I kind of go through and think, where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? Am I going alone, or is Marla coming with me? What are we going to be cooking? What are we eating? What do we need to bring with? And by God, what can we leave home? Because the less you take with you, the less your vehicle weighs, the less hassle you have, the less you have to dig through. So you always want to go through and kind of take a look at all of the gear that you're taking and customize it for the trip that you're going on. If it's going to be raining, make sure you take lots of wet weather gear. If it's not going to be raining, if it's going to be hot as, I can't say balls. If you're going out to Moab or something like that and it's going to be super hot, you don't need to take a jacket. You don't need to take 14 blankets with you, right? So just kind of go through your stuff. Obviously, check the fluids and all of the things in the vehicle. Weirdly, one of the things you're supposed to do when you go on a road trip, always check your tires. I typically don't ever check my tires because we air down when we get to the trail and air back. I'm airing down and airing up so much in that vehicle. I always know the tires are okay. So it's always a good idea to check your tires. But sometimes I'll skip it. But, check the fluids, make sure everything looks good, check the belts, just make sure that the vehicle looks like it's going to survive the trip. This is nothing new. You knew this. one of the things I like to do, especially like we're going to a place called Coppinger Cove, the wheeling can be a little bit rougher there. So I want to make sure that I test the winch, make sure the winch is working out correctly, and make sure it's strong enough to, drag a camera assistant up and down the driveway. So we pulled the winch out and we kind of repacked the winch. I opened the tent up a couple of days before going just to make sure that it's good and dry, make sure it's dried out from the last time. There's no mold, there's no surprises. Make sure that I've got all of my bedding already packed, ready to go. So when I show up on the trail, all I have to do is open the thing up. I always tend to pack, I probably take twice as much food as I need if I'm honest, but plan out how long you're going to be gone, how much food you're going to need to take with you. Make sure you take enough drinks, make sure you take enough water. I think what I've heard is 2 gallons per person per day of water. And that includes, brushing your teeth and the cooking and using it for this and that and using it for drinking and blah, blah, blah. I usually do 1 gallon per person per day of just like the big jug of water. And we use this for washing dishes. We use this for brushing our teeth. We use this for, washing our hands, that kind of stuff. And then we will have actual drinking water if we want, a bottle of water. We've got some 16 ounces. Sometimes we take a gallon, whatever it is. Yes. This is my filming assistant today. Bjorn would like to help. Would you like to? It's my boy. He doesn't lick his balls with that tongue because he doesn't have any balls. Think about that. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, whatever mapping software it is you use, whatever navigation software, be it Gaia, be it Onyx, whatever it is that you're using, make sure you go on there. And even if you're not planning on a route, make sure you download all of those map files. Make sure you've got selected, everything's in your phone. So once you get out into the boonies, the GPS in your phone will still work because it's talking to, a satellite up in the sky. But your cell service likely won't work, so you're not going to be able to download new information for the maps that are there. Most of the time, I will actually go in and map out, this is where we're going, and we're going on this trail, and we're going to go over here, I'll put in waypoints and kind of select a whole bunch of, here's some different campgrounds, and here's different camping ideas, and here's other places we might want to see. Oh, here's a crazy, like when we went up to Old House Gap? When we went up to Old House Gap Road, in between there, going to Hurricane Creek, there was a cheese factory, the places that make cheese. And it's kind of like an old school thing. I want to go see that. They were closed and we missed out, but whatever. So I'll just kind of select a number of different things in the area that might be interesting to see, put them all in waypoints and have that saved. On this trip, we're actually going with the Southeast Wheelers. I don't know if it's more of a club or a Facebook group, or whatever it is. These guys already have the whole trail set up, everything. We're just kind of tagging along, going with. So now that I have Gaia and Onyx, I actually downloaded maps into both because I want to kind of do a comparison while I'm out there. But I haven't set up a specific route. Oh, we're going to take this trail and that trail because I don't know. I don't know what trail we're going to be taking. We're just going to be following them guys. So that's kind of the gist of what I feel you need to do. Just make sure you're prepared. Make sure you've got enough food, water. Make sure the vehicle's good to go. But kind of, I guess mostly the point of this video is for every trip, take a look at where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, what's the weather going to be like, and tailor all of your stuff to that so that you don't have to carry all of your equipment all the time, every place you go, but that wherever you go, you've got what you need. That's about it, and I will see you on the next one.